when Susan came to me and was excited and she said, I want to put these patches on, I was like, Susan, I didn't get it. I didn't believe that it was scientific. It sounded crazy. So if you share with someone and they look at you like a calf at a new gate, like, what? This makes no sense. I don't believe it. I think they're in good company. That was me. And I actually, I told Susan, look, I'm a physician. I'm not going to tell people to put a sticker on their neck and it'll heal. That's what my impression of it when I first heard it. And I said I was born at night, but not last night. So I actually studied it to show her, to prove to her that there was no science to it. Well, lo and behold, I found over 80 clinical studies. And I know science and how to read science. I taught biochemistry at the University of Michigan before I went to Wayne State Medical School. And I saw 80 clinical studies that were not done by the company. They're independent. Some of them done at the University of Ireland, the #2 stem cell research facility in the world. I can say that, can't I? And there were double-blind, placebo-controlled, and some peer-reviewed. That means you do your study, give your conclusion, turn it to your colleagues and say, is my study valid? And they are. It's valid. There's a 20-year global patent on this technology. We're about 3 or 4 years in. So we've got 16, 17 years where it's exclusive. No one else is going to have this. You may hear some companies making claims. Ask them about the science. Ask them about the studies. So I became a believer looking into it. And I'd highly recommend you send people to do the research. And when they do, they'll find out. If someone's really skeptical and they're very intelligent, I'd send them to pubmed.gov. That's accepted science all over the world. It's got nothing to do with our company. And you can type in pluripotent stem cells and then whatever entity you want to study. And there's 5,000 hours of research on that. And I know a friend of mine that has read all 5,000 hours. So you know what these master regenerating cells can do for any kind of entity. And so I got kind of excited about it, but I'm still concerned. Number one, I want to know, is it safe? And I answered that question because I found out it's non-transdermal. Transdermal means it goes through your skin like an estrogen or nicotine pack. The chemicals in the patch, put it on, it goes through. There's no chemicals transferred from your body from this patch. It's about the size of a quarter. I have it on my C7. That's where we wear this master regenerating patch. 12 hours activation, and it's basically spent. You toss it, it's done. There's about enough left on it for a dog or cat. But 12 hours on, activation, 12 hours off for restoration. And so I want to know, is it safe? Well, there's no side effects because there's no chemicals involved. I don't even have to ask people what pharmaceuticals they're on, what over-the-counter medications, what vitamins, minerals, herbs they're taking, because it works the way your body's been working all your life. It's really as simple as the sun hitting your skin and making vitamin D. That's photobiomodulation. Photo, light, bio, the body, modulation, changing the body with light. It's been happening to every one of us every day of our life when we're exposed to the sun. The inventor of this, and maybe we'll talk later about that, David Schmidt, knew that, and he was an inventor in the bioelectric field, and he found a way to capture your body's own energy, infrared energy, the heat energy that we all have. If you're 98.6, if you can fog a mirror, you're breathing, you've got heat energy coming off, and the patch media hits this organic amino acids in a stereoisomer microcrystalline form. That means it'll make a wavelength of light very specific that's reflected in your body, and that's what's clinically studied to activate and increase in number these master rejuvenating cells, literally reverse aging. Every 6 weeks that you wear this patch, this master rejuvenating patch, de-ages your cardiovascular system 8 weeks. That's a phenomenal statement. When I first heard that, I thought, if that was true, everybody in the world would want these. Well, it is true, and everybody in the world does want these when they find out about it and understand it. The biggest challenge.
So Don, I'm going to stop you, if I may. Okay. Susan brings you this patch. You think she's lost her mind. You do all your research because that's what you do. You're a digger. You want to find out what's going on. So you finally put this on. Mm-hmm. What happens?
Nothing. And that was my concern. And that's the biggest challenge. And I'm glad you asked that, because the biggest challenge is keeping people consistently patching until they get results. Now, I know now that it's 80% of people within 3 to 6 weeks will have something significant. What I hear most often: sleeping better, energy, wound healing improvement, clearer, more focused thinking, better stamina. But sleeping is probably the most common. Better sleeping, which is so important as we get into our maturity.